Welcome back to Dish Hoops, where we're counting down the top 10 NBA players of all time, one legend at a time. For those just joining us, this series unpacks the careers of the athletes who've defined basketball's past, present, and future. Over the past few weeks, we've broken down players ranked number 10 through number 4. Analyzing their stats, legacies, and the intangible qualities that make them icons. Today, we're stepping into the top 3, and the name we're discussing isn't just a basketball legend. He's a cultural pioneer, a master of fundamentals, and the NBA's all-time leading scorer for nearly 4 decades. At number 3, we're honoring Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Buckle up, because his story isn't just about points and trophies. It's about reinvention, resilience, and a skyhook that broke the game. Career overview. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's career is a blueprint for sustained greatness. Over 20 seasons, he won 6 NBA championships and 6 MVP awards, and made 19 All-Star appearances, a record finally broken last year by LeBron James. But to reduce Kareem to accolades misses the bigger picture. At 7 feet 2 inches, he combined the footwork of a ballet dancer with the intellect of a scholar, dominating the league in 2 distinct eras: the gritty, physical 1970s and the fast-paced Showtime 1980s. He retired in 1989 as the NBA's all-time leader in points and 3rd all-time in wins and blocks, but his influence extended far beyond the box score. From his activism to his mentorship of future stars, Kareem didn't just play basketball, he shaped its soul. Early life and college dominance. Long before the NBA, Kareem was a New York City phenom named Lou Alcindor. By age 15, he'd already grown to 6 feet 8 inches, dominating high school basketball at Power Memorial Academy. His team went 79-2 during his tenure, including a 71-game win streak that stood for over 50 years. Opponents resorted to punching, shoving, and even pulling his shorts to slow him down. None of it worked. His dominance forced the NCAA to ban dunking in 1967, a rule nicknamed the Lou Alcindor rule. Undeterred, he refined the skyhook at UCLA under coach John Wooden, leading the Bruins to an 88-2 record and 3 straight national titles, 1967 to 1969. His final college game in 1969, a 37-point, 20-rebound masterpiece, was less a contest and more a coronation. NBA debut and Milwaukee Bucks era. The Milwaukee Bucks won just 27 games and lost 55 the season before drafting Kareem first overall in 1969. With him, they became instant contenders. Paired with Hall of Fame guard Oscar Robertson, Kareem averaged 28.8 points and 14.5 rebounds as a rookie, winning Rookie of the Year. By his second season, he'd elevated the Bucks to a 66-win juggernaut, steamrolling the 1971 playoffs with a 12-2 record. In the finals, he dropped 27 points and 18.5 rebounds per game against the Washington Bullets, cementing Milwaukee's first championship. His 1971-72 season was even more absurd: 34.8 points, 16.6 rebounds, and 57.4% shooting, numbers that earned him his first MVP. Yet Milwaukee's small market struggles and racial tensions wore on him. In 1975, he requested a trade to New York or Los Angeles, seeking a city that aligned with his cultural and social aspirations. The Lakers won the bidding war, sending Elmore Smith, Brian Winters, Junior Bridgman, and Dave Myers, along with cash, to Milwaukee, a deal that changed the NBA's power balance overnight. Lakers dynasty and Showtime era. In Los Angeles, Kareem became the anchor of the Showtime Lakers. Though his early years were rocky, the team missed the playoffs in his first season, and critics labeled him aloof. But everything changed when Magic Johnson arrived in 1979. Their partnership, a fusion of Kareem's methodical post-play and Magic's flashy passing, became the engine of 5 championships in the 1980s. While Magic's charisma defined the era, Kareem's consistency kept the Lakers grounded. In the 1985 finals, at age 38, he averaged 25.7 points and 9.0 rebounds against the Celtics' vaunted front line, earning Finals MVP and silencing doubts about his longevity. His ability to adapt, transitioning from primary scorer to a savvy facilitator, kept him effective well into his 40s. Teammate James Worthy once joked, "He didn't age, he just added more moves to the library." The skyhook, weaponizing fundamentals. The skyhook wasn't just Kareem's signature, it was basketball's first true unstoppable weapon. Unlike today's step-back threes or dunk contests, the skyhook was a study in simplicity. Starting with a drop step to clear space, he'd elevate on his left foot, extend his right arm skyward, and release the ball with a flick of his wrist. The arc was so high that even 7-foot defenders couldn't touch it. Kareem credited its creation to necessity. After the NCAA banned dunking, he spent hours drilling the hook shot in empty gyms. By the time he retired, he'd made well over 5,000 skyhooks in games, many in clutch moments. Scoring record and longevity. When Kareem broke Wilt Chamberlain's scoring record in 1984, the NBA paused the game to celebrate. His 38,387 points seemed untouchable, a record that stood until LeBron James surpassed it in 2023. But Kareem's longevity was just as impressive as his totals. He played 1,560 games, second all-time, over 20 seasons, adapting his game as his athleticism faded. He embraced yoga and martial arts to maintain flexibility, and his strict diet, avoiding sugar and processed foods, was decades ahead of its time. In his final season at age 42, he still averaged 10.1 points and 4.5 rebounds in limited minutes. As former teammate Pat Riley put it, he wasn't just great, he was great for longer than anyone thought possible. Defense and basketball IQ. While Kareem's offense gets the spotlight, his defense was equally transformative. He led the NBA in blocks 4 times and has the 3rd most rebounds ever, though blocks weren't officially recorded until his 5th season. His timing and positioning allowed him to contest shots without fouling, a skill he honed by studying opponents' tendencies. In the 1974 finals, he held Celtics center Dave Cowens to 36.4% shooting, and in the 1980 finals, he averaged 4.6 blocks per game in 5 games he played against the Sixers. Teammates marveled at his memory. He could recall plays from years prior and adjust strategies mid-game. Activism and cultural impact. Kareem's impact transcended sports. In 1968, he boycotted the Olympics, refusing to represent a country that, in his words, denied basic rights to Black Americans. After converting to Islam in 1971, he changed his name, shedding what he called a name that represented a legacy of slavery. His activism drew criticism. Sports writers labeled him angry, and fans sent death threats, but he never wavered. In the 1980s, he campaigned against apartheid in South Africa, and later became a vocal advocate for STEM education in underserved communities. Rivalries and legendary matchups. Kareem's career was a gauntlet of iconic duels. In the 1970s, he battled Wilt Chamberlain in clashes of style, Wilt's raw power versus Kareem's finesse. Their 1971 Western Finals matchup saw Kareem averaging 25 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 assists to eliminate Wilt's Lakers. In the 1980s, he faced Moses Malone, whose 76ers met Kareem's Lakers in the 1983 Finals. Though Malone won that round, Kareem outlasted him, winning 2 more titles in 1985 and 1987. Retirement and post-career influence. After retiring in 1989, Kareem stayed close to the game. He coached the Clippers and USBL's Oklahoma Storm, mentored Kobe Bryant on post-play, and consulted for the Knicks. Off the court, he became a New York Times columnist, dissecting politics and race relations with the same precision he used to dissect defenses. In 2009, he revealed a leukemia diagnosis, using his platform to advocate for cancer research. President Obama awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016, praising him as someone who stood up for what's right, even when it was hard. Today, he remains a vocal critic of racial injustice, proving his legacy is as much about humanity as hoops. Legacy. Why number 3? Ranking Kareem 3rd isn't a slight. It's a testament to the stratospheric talent above him. His 6 MVPs are more than anyone, and has second most 19 All-Star selections remain. But his true genius was evolution. He dominated the plodding, physical 1970s, then reinvented himself for the speed of the 1980s. He won titles as a franchise centerpiece and a veteran mentor. Off the court, he bridged the gap between athlete and activist, paving the way for modern stars like LeBron and Curry. As the NBA's all-time leader in wins, 1,074, and a man who reshaped how athletes engage with society, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar isn't just a basketball legend. He's a monument to what greatness can achieve when talent meets purpose. Thanks for rocking with Dish Hoops. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Kareem's legendary career, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay updated. Next Saturday, we'll unveil the number 2nd player in our Top 10 NBA Players of All Time series, a competitor whose skill and swagger redefine the sport. Before you go, drop a comment. What's your take on Kareem's ranking? Should he be higher or lower, or is number 3 just right? Let's debate. And if you missed our previous videos on players 10 through 4, check the playlist below. Until next time, keep your eyes on the rim and your mind on the game. Peace.